This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting intimate details and useless information from an undisclosed location in New York City. The Last Show with David Cooper.
Are you a bit of a nerd and thinking about what to buy your kid for Christmas this year? Well, an AI-enabled teddy bear might sound like a great idea, but I promise you, it's not. I am here with Carmi, Levy, a tech analyst. It's time for Technology Time. We'll go through some of the hottest, funnest tech stories from that industry of the day. Carmi, welcome to the show.
Good to be here. And I'm guessing the most disturbing tech stories, too, because this one easily ranks as the most disturbing thing that I have seen this week so far.
I can't think of anything I would want to put in AI less than a teddy bear, maybe a toaster, although I'm sure there's a company out there making an AI-enabled toaster to make sure that your toast is toasted perfectly.
Yeah, no, I can burn my toast all by myself. I don't need a smart toaster, and I'd rather, hold on to a dumb teddy bear, not a smart one. This one's called the Kuma Bear, Kumma. It comes from a Singapore-based toy company called Folo Toy, and it is what's known, it's an AI-enabled teddy bear, you can talk to it can talk to you. It's basically like a chatbot in teddy bear form, which sounds reasonable. Its price is reasonable too, $99 US.
That's not reasonable for a teddy bear.
$100 have you seen the price of really good teddy bears lately? That's kind of what they cost for one that's going to see your kid through childhood. Oh, absolutely.
No, I'm not in the market for a teddy bear.
Well, this one uses GPT-4o, OpenAI's large language model, and so that shouldn't be a problem, but apparently the guardrails were not included in this particular model.
Maybe that's an upgrade. You got to pay for it.
I think so, yeah. That's the $200 model. So parents started realizing that it was suggesting inappropriate things, where the child could find knives in the home, or it would trend into sexually explicit themes. It would, on its own, so it's not that the kid introduced sexually explicit themes, is that it was talking about, playtime in the park, and then it just veered on its own into sexual territory. It would talk about sexual positions. It would suggest how to do them, which ones are the best ones.
Great.
Absolutely horrifying, without any kind of prompting whatsoever.
I think I know the problem here. The word playtime, when used amongst kids, great, wholesome. The word playtime, when used amongst consenting adults, not so much. Maybe it just confused the context of the word.
Probably that's the case, and I'm guessing. So now these things have been recalled. The company has apologized. They have said that obviously the safeguards that were supposed to be in place were not. They say that they will improve. The model and reintroduce it at some point. But in the meantime, OpenAI says it has suspended them because they're a developer, right? They take their software and use it for an application. They've suspended them for violating their policy. So if this thing is going to hit the market again, I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's not going to be using OpenAI's tools anymore. Maybe someone else's because they broke the rules.
So right now, if you had it, and then the connection between that company's teddy bear and backend and software and servers and ChatGPT that's powering it has been severed, basically you've just got a dumb bear for $100 right now with a computer that doesn't run properly in it.
Exactly, and don't ever drop that in the water because you'll probably electrocute yourself. So no, this is, I will not be including this on my list of recommended tech toys for the holiday 2025 season. Suggest we not share this with any of our children.
So AI-enabled teddy bears that can talk to your kids, maybe not ready to go to the market just yet.
Definitely not. And I kind of wonder if they ever will be. I mean, the last thing I ever want to think about is, my kid lying in bed at night, having a conversation with one of these things until, the end of time. We already know the risks that chatbots pose in other form factors. And so why would you introduce this in this form to a child who's probably too young to know better? This is an absolute no-go. Some things are best left dumb, and I think teddy bears are among those.
All right, well, let's go to other smart things that are kind of happening around us, whether they work well or not. We go to Germany, where customers can see a demo of what the future of food preparation might look like. AI meals, robotic kitchens with smart arms and stovetops, and making it all delicious without any human help. And I imagine none of that human touch.
None whatsoever. Sure. So, I mean, many grocery stores have like a kind of a prepared food section where people they'll make a meal for you in the back behind a counter. This essentially replaces that. So if you're one of those employees, you're not going to like this story. And so it comes to us. It is from Dusseldorf, Germany. It's Rewe, R-E-W-E supermarket. They're the largest supermarket chain in the country. And they worked with a company called Circus SE, their robotics company. And the model is called the CA1 Series 4. It looks like almost like 3 large washing machines placed side to side, kind of smashed together. So it's this really big appliance, and you can see inside it because there are windows in front, like a giant oven. And essentially what it does, it picks the ingredients, it will mix them, it will put all the appropriate seasonings on them, it will cook them, it will serve it, it'll plate it, and then deliver it to you. You just stand there and watch this thing happen. And then when it's done, it cleans itself. It's like a giant dishwasher. And they're saying that it unlike humans doesn't take breaks, doesn't mess up the order. You order via a touchscreen or a voice interface, and they're prototyping it in 3 of their stores in Germany. And the hope is that if this goes well, these things can produce up to 120 meals an hour. So, I mean, this is neat. If it goes well here, they'll learn from this experience and scale it up, which means that there's some grocery store employees who may very well be looking for a new job soon in Germany.
I'm thinking this is a proving point for a futuristic kitchen in somebody's home with robotic arms that makes food.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think it's obviously they're not even saying how much each of these units cost. So I'm sure they're super expensive. They've got
$50.
Yeah, you wish. So they've got a couple of robotic arms in them. Obviously, huge amounts of software integration. I mean, just the development costs alone. This thing would be significantly expensive, huge capital investment. So not for the home yet, but obviously over time, as the technology becomes more mainstream, as they refine it, those prices will come down. At some point, you could imagine having a scaled down version of this in your kitchen, and it essentially becomes your robotic cook. I think that's a really cool application that a lot of people would really be into. I'm one of them. I can cook, but admittedly not well. I would certainly love to have one of these in my house if it were available. This is the first step toward that.
Would you though? I mean, for me, cooking is like a hobby. But there are nights where I'm like, I couldn't be bothered, and I'm like, oh, I gotta clean and cook.
Yeah. So just give it a prompt and send it off to do what it does. I mean that's the thing. It gives you an option.
I would first get the one at my sink that would clean the dirty dishes for me. Like that one, because to me that's the worst part about cooking. It's the cleaning afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Although, I mean, there are dishwashers. You get one of those. Those exist.
I do have it, but then you got to load it. I would get a robot to load the dishwasher.
I'm guessing this thing, and they don't talk about it, but I'm guessing this thing would still need to be loaded. You'd have to put the ingredients in. I'm sure the cleaning is not ideal. At some point, you still have to maintain it. You probably have to grease the sprockets, or sprockets, as they say.
Oh, in German, yeah, well done.
So I'm guessing like it still isn't. It's still not Rosie the robot Jetsons-esque, not that ideal, but it kind of moves us in that direction, and I think it's kind of cool. And if it means that I can, cook a meal reasonably well, or pick something up and bring it home and look like a hero, I'm in.
Are there any futuristic AI-enabled products you are excited about this holiday season, or are they not quite there yet? They're just thin layers on top of ChatGPT and eh.
Yeah, it seems that everyone is adding AI in. Just like a few years ago when the internet was first a thing, everyone just prefixed everything with an I, or added .com to it because it looked techie. We're seeing a lot of that this year, where like even basic toys, techie type toys, they're saying, oh, it has AI enabled. But it isn't really clear how AI makes that toy better or makes that product better. And in all honesty, it was just fine before. I'm going to pass. I'm not going to pay more for something that is probably going to get it wrong half the time.
So smart new objects that you can buy people as amazing new gifts for this year, probably not quite there yet.
Go dumb, save money, and don't become the next headline.
Go dumb, save money, be smart. Ooh, I like that. That could be your tagline, Carmi. When we come back with Carmi Levy, Carmi, don't.
Rinse takes your laundry and hand delivers it to your door, expertly cleaned and folded. So you could take the time once spent folding and sorting and waiting to finally pursue a whole new version of you. Like Tea Time You. Or this Tea Time You. Or even this Tea Time You.
So did you hear about Dave?
Or even Tea Time You.
So update on Dave.
It's up to you. We'll take the laundry. Rinse. It's time to be great.
Leave me. We'll be back with Carmi Levy on It's Time for Technology Time.
At Sierra, discover joyous deals on great gifts for everyone on your list. Like cozy slippers, ski gear, fishing poles, bikes, large kayaks, even larger canoes. Whew. Which might lead to another discovery. Wrapping gifts is the only sport you need to stay fit this season. 'Tis the season to discover great gifts at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Carmi, don't leave me. How English works, nobody know it.
I'm not going anywhere, I promise.
It is time for Technology Time. Carmi Levy is a tech expert. We are talking the tech industry stories of the day. NVIDIA, I mean, like a few years ago, I was like, it can't possibly go up more. I'm not investing in that. I should have invested in it. How can these companies keep growing? I mean, eventually they have to stop, right? Or maybe I'm crazy.
At some point, double-digit growth is not sustainable. I mean, this is a company that grew 62% year over year in this quarter. So, I mean, that is obviously not going to play out forever. At some point, that curve has to flatten out. But the market is betting now, and NVIDIA is projecting into the next quarter that's going to have another blowout quarter, and that the good times aren't yet over, and the reckoning has not yet happened. And so the market was worried in the lead up to NVIDIA's earnings call that, you know, if their results aren't as good as expected, if they fall short of analyst targets, then the risk is because this is such a bellwether company, the entire industry buys NVIDIA's AI chips. And they are the biggest company in the world, the first $5 trillion company. For that reason, they are powering the current AI revolution. And so based on these numbers, it was a blowout quarter. The company's making money hand over fist, growing like we've probably never seen a tech company grow before. It looks like that's going to continue for the next little bit, and worries that there will be a pullback, that the AI bubble would burst, that the market would melt down, have been not eliminated completely. There's still concerns, but at least pushed out a little bit so that, you know, investors can make a little bit more money for at least the next 3 months till we probably go through this again before the next earnings call.
We're in a graphics hardware bubble. That's the main product NVIDIA sells. Graphics hardware, even though it sounds like it should be used to play video games or render 3D images, it can be used to crunch numbers for AI. There's also been a run on like storage devices, RAM devices. All these prices are going up. And what I'm hearing is it's these AI data centers that are gobbling up all this hardware. And then at the end of the day, the consumer pays more because when you're competing with, I don't know, OpenAI that's buying hardware for a data center and Joe Schmo trying to buy a computer for, you know, to watch YouTube videos on, OpenAI is going to buy up all this stuff. So I don't know. Is the AI bubble going to burst? That's the great question.
I think eventually there will be a correction of some sort. Precisely how intense that correction will be.
That's my favorite financial word that exists. Correction.
I love that. It's a good word. That's right. Perfect euphemism, right?
Yeah.
People are going to be jumping into the street. But the reality is that nothing stays hot forever. I mean, we saw this in the 90s with the .com bubble.
And we'll see it in 5 billion years with our sun as well. Yeah.
That's right. And like, that's, you know, the good times last for a certain window, and then at some some point you got to move on. And so I think for now it continues, but at some point all of this investment, the hundreds of billions of dollars that every tech company is throwing into this technology, building out data centers, building out power to keep those data centers up and running. At some point investors are going to go, what's the return on this? Is there a sufficient return to justify all of that? And if the market doesn't have an answer, and right now it doesn't, no one really knows what does AI do truly well that other technologies don't. We still don't have that kind of killer app for AI. We think we do, but we're not quite there. And so there's a lot of uncertainty.
I mean, the chatbots are pretty good, but it seems like that's it.
Chatbots are pretty good, but again, they're not revolutionizing the way we live. And in many cases, they introduce more problems than they solve. And so it's not like the PC revolution that, took manual office processes and completely automated them. You could see that. You could understand the benefit. You could talk to what that killer app was. When, Lotus 123 was introduced, that was a killer app. Everyone understood how that changed the game. We haven't had that game-changing moment with AI yet. We have had a lot of little eye-opening moments, but nothing game-changing to justify the kind of dollar figures we're seeing thrown around.
Let's go to Jeff Bezos' new startup called Prometheus. Cool product, I guess. I mean, nothing's released yet, but it's an interesting use of AI, but it's just in its infancy, and it's going to be used for like real-world engineering projects, as I understand it.
Yeah, so Jeff Bezos, of course, he stepped down as CEO a few years back, and he hasn't been the CEO of anything since then. He, of course, co-founded Blue Origin, the rocket company, but he's not the CEO of that company. So Project Prometheus has $6.2 billion in funding, most of which comes from Jeff Bezos. And essentially, it's an AI startup, but it's AI, it's not a bot, it's not AI software, it's not an image generator, it's AI for the real world. So it's how do you apply AI to the physical realm, not the virtual one. And so think about a research lab. AI would build a research lab, would run that lab, would learn from the experience, would be able to do scientific research at a massive scale because the software is kind of always learning new ways to do it. A car factory, same thing. Most of the time, up until now, they've all been designed by humans. Whereas if you had AI building that out, it could identify areas of inefficiency and it could address them and learn in real time and apply those learnings and make it the most efficient car factory in the world. So you got to have a technology that makes that kind of real world AI possible. That's what Project Prometheus is all about. And he's hired about 100 people so far, and he's basically poaching them from Meta, from OpenAI, from Google, their DeepMind. And so he's got the best of the best of AI talent. And the hope is that they will figure this out, bring AI to real world solutions, to real world problems. I think that's kind of a neat thing to watch, especially given who he is. It's Jeff Bezos. Sometimes he doesn't deliver overnight, but give him enough time, he delivers.
All right, I'm excited about it. Let's go on to this last story here, the Epstein files. They're going to be released. The act passed in Congress. The president signed them. But there's an interesting story about how Jeffrey Epstein kind of hijacked the way the internet worked to cover up negative coverage of his crimes. It's kind of a fascinating look at how you can manipulate search engine algorithms when you've done something wrong and there's negative press about it to try to bury it. It's kind of an interesting story, awful crimes being covered up, but an interesting use of SEO or search engine optimization to kind of manipulate what's being reported.
Yeah, I mean, this is a story that makes me feel the need to take an hour and a half shower after talking about it, but it does shine a light on what search engine optimization is and how individuals and companies manage their brand, manage their reputation in the Google search space. And so we know that Google indexes the internet, and when you punch in a search term or search terms, sometimes things rise to the top and sometimes they don't. Search engine optimization is ensuring that the things that you want to appear on the first page near the top of the list appear, and the stuff that you don't want gets either suppressed, so it's a few pages down, or it doesn't get searched at all. And so obviously with Jeffrey Epstein, this goes back about 15 years. He was noticing, because he had already been a convicted sex offender then, and he was noticing that the articles about his convictions were showing up at the top of search activity, and he didn't want that. So he worked with his colleagues, he worked with brand management specialists to push the pedophilia content down and to highlight his contributions to scientific research, his philanthropy, the good things. In the end, it didn't work because
we're talking about it right now.
Exactly. And for example, if the at the time, if the Huffington Post or USA Today would publish an article, very hard to push that down with a few blog entries of your own. And so he realized that even SEO, there are limits to it, which is good because he could not whitewash the internet of all of his crimes. And so I think it shows this is how SEO works, but it's also this is the limit of SEO. And if you're a bad guy thinking that you're going to get away with it and the people won't know what you did, think again. Technology can only go so far.
I always wonder what those crisis management firms do. That's when famous people get accused of wrongdoing or whatever, have some crisis. They hire a firm to help them with their public image. And I guess this is something that they do subtly under the hood. They affect search engine results so that if there's a bad news story about you that you're worried about, if you're a bad person, you can try to get it buried. Doesn't always work, but there are firms out there that have some smart people at them trying to help out folks in situations like this. Kind of an uglier part of capitalism.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, in some cases, negative content is wrongly highlighted, but in this case, it's pretty clear this guy should go down in history as one of the worst human beings ever. He deserves to be at the top of that Google search list.
Carmi Levy, tech analyst. It is time for Technology Time is the time he joins us every week, but that time is no longer the time. Carmi, thank you for joining me.
Appreciate it, David. Thanks.
Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.